Whoa. Looks like we're ready. And doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Haven't forgotten about those transitions. Good morning, good evening, good night, good day to you all. I am Joyce Rainbow if you've never been here before, and if you have been here before, welcome back to my weekly live stream where I'll be working on some content for my next upcoming YouTube video. And this video is about how to find your authentic style when you're making art, which is something that I see a lot of artists struggle with. So I've developed a method which I think is really cool, and working on this piece has been a blast. Y'all can kind of see it here, like my reference board stuff. BizRef, PureRef, that's the stuff right here. You might have recognized this piece if you were in my earlier streams from a couple weeks ago or so. I was doing some fashion sketches, and this one in particular stood out to me. So I was like, okay, we gotta do something with that because it's like I'm feeling it. So worked off of that piece, and there's like a whole interesting process going behind how I made this. So stay tuned for that video. I'm hoping to get it done within the next couple of weeks. We'll see. But so far I've filmed most of the content for this. This live stream will actually be part of the video, so I'm really excited for that. And this is kind of what I had in mind for what I'll be working on today. So I've sketched this out, and I thought it would be pretty neat to do an ink wash in the background. Miko bites! I can only put one arm up because I'm holding the iPad. That would be bad. But yeah, I thought it would be neat to put an ink wash in the background. Now, normally I do that on mixed media paper, but I've really been enjoying working on 11 by 14 size paper and not like the smaller 9 by 12s. I just like working big, and there's a lot of little details in this one. So I don't have a mixed media large paper, but I do have smooth heavyweight bristle board. So before I add the wash, which may or may not happen during this stream, maybe towards the end if that's where we are, I will be testing it out on a sheet of paper. No, actually, no, we're probably not going to be doing that this stream because I have to order some masking fluid. That's right. But we might get to testing it out this stream. So there might be some washy action going on. But yeah, that's what I have envisioned. But I'm super stoked about this piece. I was almost not going to be able to finish it because I've had such a busy week. Like, I don't know how much we're going to get done. I don't know if I'm going to have to stream from my iPod. I mean, I can kind of do it if I don't get the glare, you know? Which I'm trying to find ways to connect my iPad to the Mac. I think I found some solutions, but that might be something I'll do in the future if I don't get these sketches done in time for stream. So that way I'm not rushing, and I can just, you know, you guys can follow along while I just take my time on making something quality, because that's really what this is all about, you know. Okay, so got my printout. I think one of the next videos I want to make up on the docket is just like my process of using digital and traditional together, and how that makes my workflow so much faster. I'm excited. Let's go ahead and start taping this on there. I'm going to experiment with using washi tape as an adhesive. Because I get my painter tape and my masking tape confused so much, they look the same. But washi tape, I watched a quick video earlier today on the different types of tape because when I do the wash, I'm going to be taping the edges, and like sometimes there's certain types of tape that the ink will bleed underneath it, which is not cool, yo. Washi tape has been recommended. Hi Wolfie, welcome in. How are you? Look at that. Yeah, I'm pretty good with this time switch. It's just an hour ahead of what I normally do, but I think that works well for a lot of people. Look at that. Y'all here on time. Y'all are here on time. That means that you get to be with me for the next 3 hours. Okay. Yeah, let's get this centered on our Bristol board. Yeah, I accidentally like forgot the paper was on the ground and I rolled over it with my rolly chair. I'm like, what in the world? Pretty good tired. Dude, same here. Same here. I was like, I need... my eye is twitching from being dehydrated. I'm like, I've had 2 bananas. Why is my eye twitching? But yeah, I've just been through a lot this week. It's been a busy week. I've been through a lot of like mental, physical energy. I mean, some of it's good stuff though. It's not all bad. But I'm like, I just want to finish strong and get like, this piece is very important to me. This piece is a vital part of my next video, and you guys are gonna see why. So we did it, guys. We're in the home stretch, finishing the week strong. I do love the Friday energy. I do love streaming on Fridays and being able to do that. Start taping it down. It went by so slow for you? Dude, I hate when that happens. Like, you look at the time, or you look at the calendar and you're like, ugh, nothing's moved. I used to work, this was like 10 years ago, maybe even more. It was like one of my first jobs. I was a lifeguard, and you do learn some pretty important life-saving skills as a lifeguard. I probably need to do this later. But most of what you do is just friggin' sit there and it's frustrating. Well, I wouldn't say frustrating. It's very boring. So we would switch spots every 15 or 20 minutes depending on what pool we were stationed at. So I would just like look at the clock, be like, okay, 5 minutes passed, okay, 10 minutes, let's go. And just keep doing that. Oh my god. And I would even work like 8-hour shifts sometimes. Let me get this centered, I swear. Wait, are we there? 1.5. Okay, this is kind of centered. Maybe a little bit more. Well, yeah, a tad more to the left. About... oh shit, I think we did it. We centered it. Okay. My manual graphic design skills. Yeah. But yeah, we made it. We made it. It's Friday. Anyone have any fun plans for the weekend? I will be... I've been getting back into working out, like, back to my normal pace. So I'm excited for that. Dude, okay, you know what I'm the most excited for? So today is the last day that it's hot. And for those of you who don't know, I live in the freaking desert, like one of the hottest places in North America. So it's been like in the 90s since May. So today is the last day in the 90s for the rest of the year. And then it suddenly drops down to 70. Like a 20-degree drop tomorrow, which is very sudden, but you know, that's how it works around here. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to finally wearing some freaking jackets. You're doing some drawing and animation? Nice. Nice. You said you were gonna work on an animation meme. Ooh, what is this meme for? Yeah, I know. Sometimes the temperature change is so sudden, like surprise. Like 1.5. Okay. The visual centering skills are pretty good. Are pretty good. Wrapping up your current projects. Yeah, you've been chipping away at some game dev stuff, or not dev, like game design. Two-time meme. I haven't heard of that one. So is that like, do they accept contributions for animations, stuff like that? I know some of the animation stuff you do is, from what you told me, is like community-based contributions. All my washi tape is like highlighter color. I bought a pack of rainbows. Those are all like really bright. Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna move this up just a touch. Or am I? I kind of like where it is. Yeah, I kind of like where it is. Just kidding. Let's make our box. Still have some random pencils that I get as a gift or whatever. And apparently this pencil smells like chocolate. I remember getting this for Christmas one year. It was such a long time ago. It does not smell like chocolate anymore. I can tell you that. But it still works as a pencil. On the song, ooh, you know what'd be cool? Like working on an animation project where your bit of animation will show up in a music video and it's just like a collection of random animations. I love stuff like that. Yeah, like a multi-animation project. Like I've seen some music videos or shoot, there was this one show on Vice called, I think it's called like Party Stories or something. It's like all these celebrities telling stories about when they were at a party and all this wild shit happens. But each story, these stories are like 10 minutes long, and each story has a different animator to it. It's really cool seeing a variety of animation styles. Hey Annie, how are you? Happy Friday to you. We are celebrating surviving another long week. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's always cool to be a part of something collaborative like that. It was a long week. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Being on a test. Oh no. Dang, that sucks. Cheater, cheater, pumpkin eater. Of course the student denied it, yeah. Yeah. So like how'd you catch the student? What happened? You don't have to share details, but if you want to spill some tea, we're here to drink it. Oh, I see. Whoa, we got a snitch. Another student reported it. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I can kind of understand. I think one of the toughest things I had to face as an instructor was trying to make the field fair for all students. So, for example, because I taught graphic design and art, a lot of that stuff doesn't really have a binary method of what is good or bad, and like how to give those points, how to give students those points. So I had to come up with metrics and rubrics to be like, okay, this is why I took 10 points off, so that students don't feel like I'm being biased towards one piece of art against like another student. And I know there were like some frustrations with students with how I graded them, but I just like always referred it back to the rubric, like, okay, it's because I took this amount of points off because of this. So that seemed to help, but it was very hard for like, it's not like math where I can be like, okay, this answer is clearly wrong, I can take 10 points off, but just making sure everyone's in a like equal playing field. And yeah, it's definitely not fair to students if stuff like that happens. Oh wow. I see. Yeah, very time consuming. It was also very complicated because I was just like, for those of you who don't know my teaching history, I was thrown into it in like a week. Like I had to take over a class in a week. So with zero experience on teaching, I'm gonna be so mad if this ruler moves while I do this. So if I'm like focused, that's why. Yeah, I had zero experience, and one of the hardest things was coming up with how to divide up points, like with grading, like how much I'll put on this side, how much an assignment would be worth, and how much attendance would be worth, and how much these large projects would be worth. And I think I thought about it way too much. Probably shouldn't have put that there. And now I can see why a lot of graphic design instructors just kind of grade 4 projects instead of having to grade every single assignment. But yeah, all I had was like the previous teacher's assignments uploaded, and I kind of had to work my way backwards from that. But it's just like, how do I know like how much a student does impacts their grade? And honestly, like I really don't want to have, like, I like teaching to people who aren't in school. I mean, I know it's different for everyone, but I don't want to grade people. It's very complicated. I mean, I'm sure you have a system down, Annie, but like, I don't know. I didn't want to influence that, and it was very hard to divide those points up without any sort of guidance. But anyways, all that's over with. And it was a good experience, though. I think it helped me develop confidence in teaching, because I was very underconfident when I started, and even when I ended, I still had some, well, I grew with confidence, and that was definitely one of the feedbacks that that a student had told me. So it really helped. It really helped because you're just like, seriously, my first day, I'm just standing in a crowd of like 25 eyeballs. Well, 50, I guess, looking at me, and I'm just like, hi. So, yeah, it was some rough bananas. It's easier in a way for physics, but it can still be time consuming. I think with physics, because there's already like predetermined answers, like my example was math, how there's like, you know, you can get an answer right, like an answer is right or it's wrong. Like it's kind of binary in most instances, because there's like math involved. And okay, to be honest though, I've never taken a physics class, so I wouldn't really know, except for astronomy. I did take an astronomy lecture and lab in college, but I've actually never taken physics. But I am kind of teaching myself that now when I'm learning color theory, so there's that. Kind of wish I did though. Physics is pretty fun. I forget what grade. Oh yeah, I think it was in my junior year. We had a choice to either take physics or anatomy, and like, you know me, like I'm very into drawing anatomy, and my mom was a nurse, and so I learned a lot of anatomy and stuff about the human body growing up. So I took anatomy. Oh, what? When the chickens went on strike? Oh no. Are they trying to like get the... I don't know what that book's about, so are they trying to get students to be more politically involved or something like that? Damn, that sucks. Oh, I see. Yeah, just very elementary way of doing that, I suppose. Yeah, the way they kind of did things in high school, it was a lot of fear mongering and like fear-based stuff that try to get kids not to do stuff, and I'm like, that doesn't really always work. Oh, the films, yeah. Don't talk to strangers. This is your brain on drugs, I know. I know, right? All the silly dare skits and all that. What are we gonna do next? I'm gonna draw, okay. This clamshell hat, so complex. We're gonna get through it one at a time. Fried egg brain. Like, whoa, I want breakfast brain. I've always got breakfast on the brain, you know. Yeah, we do gotta get some breakfast food soon, that's for sure. Eat so many eggs per week. I was about to say, like, I've been eating a lot of vegetables and salads this week, and I'm like, I just want some scrambled eggs, some breakfast food. So I'll probably do a grocery run soon. Okay, so for this, I want very subtle, like a very thin line. So I am using my thinnest pen because I have a whole array of microns, and this is 0.05. This is... Actually, I think I have one thinner than this, but whatever, it's pretty thin. So we're just gonna do some like thin, subtle thin lines. Hopefully I can make them equally spaced. Hard-boiled egg, an apple, some almonds and a lunch every day. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I would always, my university lunch, because I'm like crazy. I'll take, when I would book my classes, I would have 4 to 6 classes, I suppose. Oh no, I don't need the bendy curve. I need these to be straight lines, so I'm good. Thank you though. But I would have like 4 to 6 classes, and half of these classes would be 3-hour-long labs. And so I would sign up like right as signups open, and I would try to book my classes in the least amount of days as possible. So if I could book my classes in 2 days, I would. But that would mean that sometimes I had 9-hour days. So my quote-unquote lunch is like a cup of Greek yogurt, and then I would put almonds in it, and I would just eat that in class. like real quick, like, oh, there's my lunch. Or, man, Subway came in clutch too. Like those $5 footlongs. Half now, half later. I would even like get avocados, and I would put soy sauce in them, and I would just eat them straight, like with a spoon. Had some like weird snacks, college snacks. So many subs when you were younger. Yeah, right. Great on the go type of food. And like the campus now has a great selection of food, but back then it was like Panda. I hate Panda Express with a passion. I've always hated Panda Express with a passion. Not good stuff. I like Subway, which is alright, you know, that was my thing. And then Starbucks, you know, the typical stuff. Like now they have froyo, they have like Japanese food, and like just some really good stuff. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm even trying to be healthy, and I would get the vegetables at Panda Express, and the vegetables are the worst. Like, they're even worse than the orange chicken. I think orange chicken is probably, like, if I absolutely had to get Panda Express, I would just get the orange chicken. But, ugh. It's not as common. Well, that's good. I know. I'll trade Panda Express for Wawa. That's what I miss from the West, the East Coast is Wawa. Wawa blew me away. That was awesome. I've also heard about this thing called Sheets, and that sounds awesome, but I've never been. Subs and chicken wraps are what existed in your 20s. Yeah, I ate quite a bit of wraps too. The sugar chicken. Wait, from where? Oh, you mean the orange chicken? Yeah. You ate it when you... How long did you live in LA? Oh, wow. I didn't know you were there for that long. Sheets and Wawa. I know. It's my goal. It's my goal to visit a Sheetz one day. Because the first time I found out about Wawa was in Orlando. And I was at this convention. So we were kind of limited to just walking around the area. And the only thing within walking distance was Wawa. And it was incredible. Like the freaking mac and cheese there. Because let me tell you guys, if you've never been to the West Coast, our gas stations suck. Like our convenience stores suck. There's literally a chain called Terribles, and they're exactly like they're actually terrible. No lie, no joke. You've never been to a Panda Express before? That's something that you definitely never need to try in your life. And I'm one of these people, like I will always want to try something. Like I was really adamant about trying Tim Hortons when I went to Canada. I did, and it was like the most basic place I've ever been in my life. It had Wi-Fi, which I needed, but you know, it was just like, all right, well, that was that. But you do not need to experience Panda Express. Yeah, exactly. It's like I would rather. Oh my god, there's so many things I would rather do than eat Panda. I would rather like. I mean, I was gonna say I would rather just eat bread, like only bread, but I love doing that anyways. Yeah, like anything but Wawa. Sorry, Wawa. Anything but Panda. Those sound the same syllables. Yeah, I kind of think about it. I'm like, man, West Coast fast food options are kind of horrible. Convenience stores and stuff like that. I don't know why that is. Maybe because, I mean, there's like the stereotype of East Coast people, like New Yorkers, are always hustling and bustling, and West Coast folk are more laid back and they have their avocado toast and shit like that. So maybe that's why. But you know what? I'm actually not really that big into fast food at all. Like, I hardly eat fast food, but if I were to eat fast food, Taco Bell's where it's at. I had some potato tacos the other day, and Miko saw my face lit up. Like, it just really caught me off guard how good they were. And I felt fine. That's the thing. Like, a lot of foods actually, if they're greasy or like poor quality, I will feel it. I will feel it, and I'm very sensitive to that stuff. But like, some stuff from Taco Bell, like, I just feel fine. Okay, you know what? I kind of want to go to a Waffle House. I've been seeing everyone like talk about Waffle House. I kind of want to check that out. I don't know why. In about 4 years? Yeah, that's a really good stretch. Oh shoot, what's going on up here? Fix that. Or not, I don't know. That is kind of what a shell does though. It kind of like spirals into itself like that. I'll do one more. But yeah, I probably have fast food like 6 times a year. That's only if I'm out really, really late, or I'm really, really lazy, or I'm traveling. So yeah, maybe like definitely less than 10 times a year. But I don't know, with those potato tacos though, that might go up. We were joking about oh, what's it called? the other day, the other stream, when we were talking about free radicals. Yeah, we were talking about free radicals, and I was like, is that a political movement? But it's like part of a cell or something like that. I forget. Miko was laughing at me. So that's what I think about. You said spectacular surface. I'm just like, I guess it's just a very great surface, you know, with a lot of good things to say about it. This surface is spectacular. It was cleaned with fabuloso. That's what I would say. So, with my knowledge and education in physics, I can honestly... You would probably guess that. I would definitely not know that. Oh, specular. I heard spectacular. Oh my god. That's so funny. What a spectacular surface. Okay, specular. Well, okay, if it's specular, probably like there's a bunch of like things on it. I don't know. But it's probably spectacular, you know? It's so funny when I misread things in chat. Like, oh. Storage the same energy as $2 steak place. Oh. Yeah, I was actually gonna guess that, like, specular having... I was gonna guess, like, having many different angles of surfaces to where, like, it's shiny, so... Billiard balls. Or specular. Oh, yep, spec. Like, I see. Spec lighting. So, physics and color theory definitely go hand in hand. So, that's probably the best way I've been able to learn and apply physics to art, is learning about like color and how light reflects and stuff like that. So, that definitely rings a bell. Shiny. I mean, when I think of a spectacular surface, I think of one that's just been cleaned with fabuloso. I don't know, I just think fabuloso is so fabulous. But, so it makes sense. It makes sense. Aw, thank you. That's one of the nicest things someone has said about my drawing. We are on the radiation chapter. Ooh, that's fun. So, does your physics class also cover astronomy, or is that a totally different class? Cover some parts. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could imagine. Astronomy is so interesting. So, you know what I learned recently? There are 2 solar eclipses happening within the next year. And shoot, what happened? We good. So correct me if I'm wrong, but the first one is happening October 13, 14-ish, that weekend. And the second one is happening in April 8th of next year. So the one happening in a couple weeks is called, I believe it's called an annular solar eclipse. And the one happening next year is called a total solar eclipse. So the one happening this year I don't know why it's called annular. I don't know if this happens every year. But so this is where I'm confused. Is it where the moon is the furthest away from the Earth, and that's why the sun is not completely covered up because it's smaller? And the total is opposite. It's like the closest to the Earth. Let me know if I got that switched around. And that's why it covers the sun. Damn, I keep messing up these balls. Hey, welcome back. We're talking about the solar eclipses happening. 2 of them happening within the next year. Okay, awesome. Yeah. At first I got those 2 mixed up, but I was like, wait a minute. It would actually make more sense for if the moon was closer to the Earth to have it cover more of the sun. Yeah, so Annie teaches physics and currently astronomy, a chapter of astronomy. And my dad got his master's in astrophysics, and he was doing some like doctorate level stuff as well. So I was raised around a lot of astronomy. It's pretty funny. Like growing up, we had 2 different types of science textbooks lying around the house. There were anatomy textbooks because my mom was a nurse, and then there were astronomy textbooks because my dad was really into astronomy. So those were the 2 sciences that I was most familiar with. The angular... What is the angular size? What does that mean? The sun and the moon? That blows my mind because they have a very different... They're very different in size from each other. Hey Hudson, welcome in. Hey, did you get your print? Because shoot, I need to remember to pick this up from my mailbox because I found a returned package and I don't know if it's yours. It didn't show me whose it was. So if you didn't get yours, it's probably yours, and I have it. That a lot of a lot of A books. Oh, okay. Angular size is the diameter of the moon divided by diameter, the distance. The distance of what? Of like the moon to the Earth? Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, I'll go pick that up this weekend too, and then we can get that sorted out. Yeah, I put a bunch of stuff in there, by the way. I put some of my fish stickers and more stickers and the print, so it's a good selection. Oh, interesting. Okay. So like, if I'm understanding this correctly, the diameter of the sun and the moon, and then the distance from like each object respectively, they're like the same proportionally. What's that called again? The angular diameter? No, the angular size. Huh, so if they were triangles, they would be like the same size, but just, I mean, same angles, but proportion differently. Okay, gotcha. Wow, like envisioning that, dude, like geometry and space and nature is a whole thing. It's a trip. That's something I'm trying to wrap my head around. Are used interchangeably. Oh, okay, gotcha. We're having an educational stream, y'all. You know, I'm here for it. I'm excited to learn. Make that bigger. And we're using a lot of, speaking of geometry, we're using a lot of tools here with working on stuff. I love this thing. I love this circle thing. Circle template. Should be more professional. I love my circle template. I've used this so much since I've got it. And I would use a compass before I would use this. But it's great for making like really tiny circles. Like what I'm doing now. Because I just love when things are... It makes a difference when things are geometrically accurate than when they're not. At least in my opinion and with my own drawings. So I like this. As a point, the cone is farther than the eye, the bigger the circle. I think after stream, I'm gonna have to like confirm my visualizations because I am a visual learner. So if I see like a diagram, it'll help me retain that information. I've been doing some really crazy like color theory deep diving, and there's some really weird stuff when it comes to color theory. Like for example, there's no wavelength for magenta, and the moon is actually red, but in the dark we pick up blue light. So we just see it as blue because that's how our eyes pick it up. I hope I'm explaining this okay because I have to be better at explaining this because I want to like actually teach people this stuff. Orange is not a color and it doesn't rhyme with anything. Orange is an anomaly. Creep skewel, is that a color? I don't know what that is. Crepes. Diameter of the sun is about 400 times bigger than the moon. Oh, okay, I see. So it's proportional. Yeah, stuff like that. How you just find those synchronicities in nature blows my mind. Not the book. Oh, I see. I see. I actually read Twilight too. I read too much of Twilight. Because I'm like one of those people, if I'm gonna say something is terrible, I'm not just gonna like do it because everyone else is saying it. I'm actually going to, like, I wanted to develop my own opinion about Twilight, so I read the book. I can tell you it's terrible. I can honestly tell you it's terrible because I have read it. So. I have also seen the movie and it's also not that great. It was a box set. Did you like Twilight? I'm not gonna judge you if you like Twilight. I'm not gonna judge anyone here for liking what they like. But in my opinion, it was not for me. It's so useful. Well, it's part of a whole set. Dude, what's really cool about having an artist husband is you can just steal his supplies. And then your art collection becomes twice as big. But there's also an ellipse tool, which is very helpful. This has been great for like drawing cylinders and stuff. Like if you need to draw the top or bottom of a cylinder. So I keep this close by. There's like squares. Yeah, I've never really been that big into templates until now, until in the more recent years of my art career, I've been really into accuracy. So I'm like, okay. And yeah, I've used compasses before, but it's hard to use a... Compasses are for like big circles, like bigger than what's the biggest one on here. So, but they're kind of hard to use with a pen because sometimes they just like slip off. The movie Barkley chest. I'm a vampire. All right, water time. Eventually I'm going to put Waterbot back into Nightbot. Stream for about an hour. Dang, that's how long these straight lines and geometric shapes take. But it pays off. Trying to figure out if the whale drawing was one of the first that you saw. It probably was. Well, when you first entered my stream, it was my birthday, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. I was playing video games, actually. I think Final Fantasy. We're doing like Drawful, but I think around that time, I was probably working on the whale. Speaking of whales and painting and stuff like that. So, oh yeah, I think since some of you are here, I'm gonna update y'all with my stream schedule for the next couple months. So I'll be streaming. I should put this, I don't know if I put this in Discord already. No, I haven't. Okay, so I'll be streaming next Friday, and I'll be streaming, I think that's like what, Friday the calendar. Sorry. Friday the 6th, and then I'll be streaming on Friday the 13th. Woo, it's gonna be a spooky stream. And then I will be gone for 2 weeks because I have back-to-back conventions. So there's TwitchCon, which I will be helping out with Cryomera's booth, and then Lightbox Expo, which we will be traveling to California for that, and also be helping out with Cryomera's booth. And then I will resume streaming in November. And I'm thinking that when I do go back from my very short break, is that we're gonna switch gears into painting, because I've been really wanting to paint for a while. I've just been like so nervous to, because I feel like I don't quite have color understanding down yet. But we're gonna do it. We're finally gonna do it. So the next couple streams are gonna be inking streams, and then probably gonna switch up into color, and probably doing some stuff like color wheels and just getting used to working with color and studying color and doing stuff like that. And because there's some painting projects I really want to get started with, so really exciting stuff. Oh yeah, like aside from the 2 conventions, there's like all these events going on, like, oh man. So I have a friend who, she invited me to her bachelorette party stuff, and she's a horror movie buff. So we're gonna do like a Saw themed escape room. That's part of what's going on. And then there's another convention I'll probably be going to. So that's gonna be like 3 conventions, but this convention is for work. Yeah, there's so much going on. So busy October, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. You know, I've actually never seen a Saw movie. I know there's like 6 of them out there. So we're probably gonna watch that tonight or tomorrow. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for stopping by, Hudson, and yeah, enjoy your lurk. Yeah, jumping right into it. At some point, I just gotta be like, I just gotta start. And like, I need to I've been wanting to get started on my dad's commission. It's been 2 years. Because he wants something like really big and complicated. So, but I'm finally putting together like a real, I have a good sketch laid out and a plan, and it's gonna be like a huge canvas painting. So I'm probably gonna stream that here as well once it's at a good spot. But yeah, I miss painting. I miss it so much. And probably gonna do some like ink drawings here and there, but really want to shift to painting. There's 9 with a 10th coming this year. Wait, what are you talking about? I can't this can't this painting. Oh, Saw. What the heck? I thought there were only like 6 movies. That's a lot of movies. That's more Saw movies than there are Resident Evil games. Well, no, actually no. There's like other types of Resident Evil games that are not in numerical order. Are there any Saw movies that actually don't have a number after them? Like Saw: The Awakening or Saw Rebirth? Sounds so stupid when I say it out loud. That'd be really funny. I know, more than Final Fantasy? That's crazy. But yeah, I've never seen... Well, Miko says he likes the second one the most, so... Probably gonna watch the first and the second one. Saw Chain of Memories. Oh yeah, how many Scream movies are there? I've probably seen Scream, but it's been so long. Scream was out in the 90s. And I've seen at least one Scream movie, and I've seen Scary Movie. The one... I think there's only the one that features Scream. I forget which one that is, 3 or 4, I don't know. Oh my god, do you remember the, that was like the popular costume in the 90s were these Scream masks? And let me actually zoom in because I'm doing some tiny... Is that better? Yeah. There were these Scream masks and they had these pumps with fake blood that would go on the mask. And all the kids had that. That was so funny. Oh, interesting. For Airplane? That was a good movie. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, I see. Out of context, I was like, whoa. God, yeah, I haven't seen that movie since I was a kid as well. Don't call me Shirley. Sounds funny. Oh shoot, there's more. Oh wait, there's more. I didn't draw all of them. Well, these I'll just do by hand because they're like stupid tiny. Circles are so small you can't tell they're uneven. I mean, you can, but it doesn't matter. They kind of do. I think that's what's really cool about... Well, here's the reference image for the dress. And yeah, I'm coming out with a video on how I, like, my process for this, as to how I put together a style map and how I came across this and this idea. So it's pretty cool. There was a lot of exploring and just like playing with shapes and stuff like that to get to where it is now. But I really wanted to do kind of a sea theme. I'm very into oceanic stuff. And this was from the fashion sketch stream that I did a few weeks ago. And I was like, okay, like I wanted to do something with this hat because it's very plain. I was like, okay, we can do like a seashell with some like nautilus spots. I didn't want to make it like, I tried making it jellyfish shaped, like very bulbous and round, but it didn't really look good because I like the sharp angles that were going on here. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of like a seashell jellyfish. So it's really cool that all these things are kind of coming in together. And then there's a lot of playing around with like the negative shapes and the positive shapes, like MC Escher style, which I'm really excited about. That kind of happened through exploring. The lanternfish. Oh yeah, yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. Yeah, it was really cool because sometimes when I draw stuff, I have like a perfect example. I wouldn't say a perfect example, but a pretty good idea of what I want the drawing to represent, what I want it to look like. But this one, I just knew that I liked the fashion sketch that I did and wanted to do something with that. So that one was a lot more intuitive and explorative to how I came up was where I am now. And it's a pretty fun process because sometimes that always doesn't work out for me. But I think allowing myself to like play and do different variations has helped. Because this was about to be super plain, but I'm like, I don't want to do super plain drawings anymore. I want details. Devil's in the details. Oh yeah, there's all this stuff going on. Whoa. I think with that, I think with that, since it's on like a warped surface, I'm just gonna freehand that. I'm not gonna make it geometric. Besides, I'm tired of using that stuff. I want to like actually draw. So we're gonna draw. You're speedrunning the animation. How do you... Oh, like, the one that you're watching or making? Like... How do you speedrun making it? Like, are you just going ham? Yeah, they're just going so fast. Whoa. Dude, that's how I feel whenever I learn about a new shortcut or a hotkey when I'm video editing. I'm like, whoa, speed running it now. At myself more in the frame. I'm gonna kind of draw it off frame a bit. And you get to see like my pretty little background with lights. I know it's hard to see, but I upload some pictures. I'm doing some redecorating in this room here. So there's like a pretty rainbow cosmic tapestry that's up there. You're a speedrun grading AP physics test. Yeah, if there's only a way, shortcut to do that. Scantrons? I suppose that's only for like specific types of tests. And I feel like a lot of the physics tests probably want to have students write stuff out. I like the purple, thank you! Yeah, so I just have a couple lights. Just make it ambianced. Ambianced. But I can change the colors on them. I just figure purple is a nice background color for streaming. Red looks very aggressive and everything else is kind of boring. Color coordinated. Oh, wow. Purple. I'm not wearing any purple. I'm wearing black and white and, I'm like my rainbow pants. The ones in my Draw This in Your Style. I was gonna say, do I have any purple shirts? I still have my Twitch shirt. It was free. There is purple in there. You're right. And we're in the rainbow, which includes purple. Oh yeah, I remember. That reminds me of like when last year on St. Patrick's Day, I like I don't really care about the whole wear green thing, but I was wearing these pants, and I remember going to the UPS store to drop off a package, and there was a mom and these two girls, like young girls. And then the girls were like, Happy St. Patrick's Day! And I'm like, Happy St. Patrick's Day! And then they looked at me and they're like, she's not wearing green! And then the mom goes, yeah, before I said anything, the mom looks at my pants and like, there's green right there, actually! Like the rainbow. I'm like, sweet. Got it covered. Aha. I told them I was safe. They couldn't pinch me. Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah. You know what they, do they have anything planned or are you just gonna show up? Yeah, there's definitely some, I was briefly looking at the Artist Alley list and there's some familiar faces. So that should be fun. Show up, nice, nice. I mean, it's Vegas, so. Oh, battery. Whatever, man. It's Vegas, so there's definitely going to be a lot to do. And I think I'm pretty familiar with the, I need the screen, actually. I can keep the battery like a low power mode or something like that. Low power mode. Got him. They're in an Arctic? What the heck? Wow. That is cold. Oh my gosh. Yeah, hopefully escapes that cool not even cool, it's just freezing weather. Oh my gosh. Well, I suppose that, you know, now fall time would be a good time to see the northern lights and stuff. Oh, yeah. No, that is a good way to make quick money. Just go up in the very cold places. Holy crap. So, like, are they in Alaska? Wow. I always had a feeling Kate liked the cold weather. Man, I can't believe that 1 year, I think they were in like the Vancouver area. Vancouver got to be like almost 100 degrees. Maybe they actually got to 100 degrees. That's crazy. Northwest Territories. Wow. That is cold. You know, sometimes I just, like, I have this hobby of looking at Google Maps, especially the places where there's not a whole lot of information about them, and just being like, what is that? And I do that with Greenland and the Northwest Territories, because there's, like, not a whole lot of information on them. I just try to, like, find stuff. Or, like, random islands in the middle of the ocean. So we found Napoleon's tomb one day when we did this. I think actually Miko found it, but it was like this random island off of, like, in the middle of the Atlantic, like in the very middle of the Atlantic. I forget what this island's called, but that's where Napoleon is actually buried. Oh, Nunavut, is that in Iceland? Or Greenland? I forget. Canada, okay, I see. Yeah, that'd be really cool to have a food truck. They have several food truck festivals out here in Vegas. Man, made me hungry. Let's draw the path. I'm gonna do that anyways. That way I don't have to keep opening my... Was not start. Oh, the food talk? It was like subtly in there too. We were just talking about food trucks. Oh, I mean, that is a good excuse not to mow the lawn, but it also makes the grass grow faster. I've never mowed a lawn before. I've never lived anywhere with a lawn. crazy. Well, actually, no. I currently have a lawn. There's no grass. Just rocks. A tree, some bushes. Rocks. When was the last time I hated a drawing so much I crumpled up the paper? I don't really do that. Like, honestly, I've learned to just respect the drawings that I hate. It's part of the process, you know? Although, for my inking video, which I'm gonna work on, like, redoing the thumbnail for that this weekend, because I want to, like, re-promote it. But in my inking video, there's a clip of me throwing a piece of paper away, like pretending to be angry. No, pretending to like start over because I'm unsatisfied with it. But really I wasn't. Just for theatrics. But oh, actually no, I do have a funny story. This was recently. This was last we meet up and draw with some friends every month. So this was last, like, the first Saturday of September. And it wasn't that I hated the drawing. I think I was just testing out some pencils. And I was drawing the person in front of me, or like the table in front of me. So like, I don't know if I crumpled it up, but I definitely threw it away because I'm like, I don't want this person seeing that I drew him. And I drew him in like a caricature style because I was, you know, having fun and being stylized. So I was like, and like my friends were threatening to like show him stuff. I know we joke about that stuff all the time because we'll just like sit and draw random people at the cafe. They're like, hey, come check out what this guy's drawing or something, you know. Yeah, it might take the wrong way or something. No, I just don't want them knowing that I drew them. It would have been like really awkward. So that was definitely the last time that I threw a drawing away after, like, right after drawing it. It was like, there's no reason for me to keep this. And I think I was drawing digitally that day too, so I had to borrow a piece of paper, and it's like, I don't want this evidence with me. But yeah, I don't rage quit with drawings. I'm just like, all right, just move on, you know. Even as a child, well, I don't know. If I did that as a kid, which I probably would have. I was a very like angry kid. I don't know. The equivalent for piano is banging your hands on the keys. I mean, I've definitely rage quitted in video games, but man, there's a whole video essay that I want to make about how being in competitive gaming has improved my art in a weird way. And one of those ways was to help me learn from my mistakes instead of being angry at them. So before and during my competitive gaming era, I would be the type of person who would get really mad at video games and rage quit and just be really mad. But after that, I don't rage quit anymore. I just I mean, I'll say like angry funny things at the game, but I don't get genuinely mad because to me games are like a puzzle and I'm like, okay, I can like study it and figure it out. What game? I was a competitive Super Smash Brothers Melee player for a few years. And was I good? I was absolutely not good. For a competitive standard anyways. Like I can probably beat anyone, just about anyone who's not competitive, but in a competitive arena, I was bad because it's a very, very difficult game. But it taught me a lot. About life and art. And the main reason why it did that is because I was able to exercise some parts of my brain that I usually don't. It's probably like one of the most technical activities that I've ever done in my life, like hobbies, because I'm usually into more creative stuff. But at this point in my life, I just needed something so different. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get into competitive fighting games, and it's very, very technical stuff, like counting frames and all that stuff. So using that part of my brain helped unlock some new perspectives for me that I was able to carry on with my art career. The difference between good and good. Yeah, exactly. I was good, but I wasn't good. Get good. Yeah, it was a hard game, and I would get really like I would get really mad if I performed terribly at a tournament, because it's like months of training every single day. Like, I don't think I've ever trained for something as vigorously as I did with fighting games, and I was still like really bad. Like, I would still lose immediately after all that, so of course it's frustrating, but it's I've taken it as a good chance to, because when I'm like mad and frustrated and all those negative emotions run into my head, it's hard to think about stuff. So if I tell myself, like, if I just cool down and I can think about why I was beat, or why I didn't improve, or what's going on, I'm able to move past that hurdle more effectively than just being upset. So I think with more technical approaches, I'm able to do that. I think I still have to work on that stuff when it comes to more creative stuff like art, but it helps. But I think like with art too, like I always see every piece that I make as a stepping stone to the next piece. So it takes the pressure off for me to make something absolutely perfect. I'm just like, okay, like, you know, if this isn't perfect, it's okay, because I'm able to learn from this. I think I still struggle with that when it comes to like where my art business is and the growth of that, because as the business grows, it's very unsteady. It's very unsteady, and I'm not gonna lie, taking a break, like that really long break from Twitch streaming and all that, has really had an effect on my business and the way that I am able to. It just made like a big difference, and like, not in a bad way though, not in a bad way, because I think I'm definitely on the right track with coming here on YouTube. But I'm basically starting over, so it's been hard, but in the end I do feel like I'm on the right track, so that's good. But yeah, where was I going with that? Making mistakes, accepting failure, learning from mistakes. I think it really did. I mean, it didn't for a while, because starting over really sucks, because feel like you have to do a lot of work to get back to where you were. But after a while, after like having to sort that shit out, I'm like, all right, I'm fired up. So I feel fired up. I feel like I'm in a good spot now. Actually, I had a crazy summer, but I'm feeling pretty good about life right now. And really excited for all the conventions and stuff coming up next month, and really excited to get back into painting. So that's basically where I'm at. Ignited like a phoenix, like I just painted one. Yeah. But actually, if I'm gonna color this in, I'm gonna outline my circles even more, so that way there's a barrier. Exactly, it's not a race, unless you're racing robots. And that's different, but it really isn't. Like, sometimes I do feel like my art career is a race, but it's like, is it really though? I have to tell myself, Joyce, like, is it really? Like, it's not. But it can certainly feel like that because I try to take on so much at once. Like, may I see my freaking notebook? It's like all this stuff. Text and lots of notes. I know it's like kind of hard to see, but some of the stuff is like NDA, so but yeah. I think something I want to try doing though, because I picked this up on a podcast, because I write down my weekly goals and I'm like, okay, this is what I want to get done for the week, and like sometimes I don't get to all of them because like stuff comes up. And I'm usually pretty forgiving about that. I've learned to be more forgiving about that stuff. But I think I want to get into the habit of celebrating my accomplishments on a weekly basis. Like, if I'm going to write down my goals for a weekly basis, I also want to be able to celebrate something. Like, not just make it like a go, go, go thing. Why is my right border not surrounding the cap? I mean, like, why is it not here? Because there's like so much stuff over here. I think this was also intended to break the border. I'm not sure if it is. Is that what you're talking about? But yeah, if it were gonna break. Oh, this one? Why is it not breaking it? Wait, what are you talking about? Like, why is it not going on top of it? Oh, what am I doing? The line doesn't follow the dark border underneath. Oh, like this? I just realized I can do that because I'm gonna shade it in anyways. Aw, yeah, I love like crossing stuff. Well, what I do is, oh, like here? The image underneath, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Oh, are you talking about this line? The paper? This is a paper. Oh, no, this is a paper. Yeah, that's just a paper. So what I do is that, because I don't have, this is an 11 by 14 sheet. So because I can't print out on 11 by 14, I just make it really big on 8.5 by 11 so that I can scale it correctly on 11 by 14 and have enough breathing room. So yeah, sorry about the confusion. Hey Pompano, welcome in. How are you? But yeah, Hub Flow. I love crossing stuff out. I love like making little physical check marks or check boxes and crossing them out. And it's so satisfying. But I feel like I need to be able to like actually write that stuff out instead of just crossing it out. I feel like that would make me feel more on track. It does look like an image. There you go. I can actually turn that off for a little bit. I'm just shading. Just busy? Yeah. I think we've all had a busy week. This is like a very busy changing of the seasons. Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys were here when I was talking about the weather, but I'm very excited because today is the last day that Vegas is going to be in the 90s, I think. Because today's high is 90 Fahrenheit and tomorrow's high is 70. It just like dips down 20 degrees. Like, all right. But it's about time. It's been in the 90s since May, and I'm like, I'm excited to wear jackets. So sad my jackets only get use a few months out of the year. Excited to wear a jacket. Big nope. Oh no. I think it's the first thing to do and get it done. For me, it's like how my brain works is I will freak out if I don't write them down because all these things will pop up like take care of the laundry and like the grocery list and like make this video or reel or this post, blah blah blah, and then it'll keep like popping up like blah, blah, blah. So I have to like write it down so that I can be like, okay, I wrote it down. I don't have to think about it anymore because it's there. I got it. It's good. So, and then what I do is like I'll divide it out. I'll write down each day. I don't do this every week, but when I'm trying to be on track, I do it. Like I'll write down Monday through Friday and even the weekend and just assign what task I'm going to do per day. And yeah, I've been more forgiving with like things having to be pushed over. Like this week, there's been some stuff that came up, so I wasn't able to get everything done that I wanted to do, but that's okay because there's like, I've been so busy, like there's just no way. But I got this sketch done. Like that was like the main thing I was trying to do. So, and I almost didn't. It's a better achievement marker instead of I still need to get this thing done. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely another way of doing that too. I've got so much to do because of classes and events and oh, you're on the board of a club? Ooh, which club? Oh man, aren't you like a senior as well? I think I remember you being like an upperclassman. And I remember how busy my life was during my senior year. Oh my gosh. Your D&D chore list. You want to roll? Oh, that'd be fun. There's something that I've seen advertisements for called the Hero's Journey. Hero's Journal, and it's like an event-based journal. It's very like tabletop-y-ish, I think, where you go out and you just do like tasks and stuff like that, like real life tasks. Lights on. Okay. Finally get to work on this really cool dress. Dude, this top part took like almost 2 hours. Probably like an hour and a half because I was just like blah 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 as I usually am. Okay. your final year and you got your art minor put on your transcript. Nice. So you have art minor. What's your major? There were 2 things that I almost minored in. I almost minored in Spanish because I completed intermediate Spanish and I was pretty good at it, and I think to minor in Spanish I would have had to take 2 more advanced Spanish classes and like 1 or 2 other like random Spanish classes to get that minor or major. I don't know. I think it's a minor actually. And then for art history, I think it was just like 1 or 2 more classes. And that's kind of how the curriculum was set up back then. It was like you can very easily get an art history minor. But I was like, nah, I don't want any more classes because I was able to get my degree within 4 years. Exactly. Why do you have so many journals? Give them to me. I want all the journals. I need more. And like I'm like the opposite. I write stuff down like crazy. Like post-it notes, everything. I have to get it out of my brain before I explode. Ah! Oh, alumni of Color Leadership Team, nice. And biotechnology, wow. That's definitely an up-and-coming field. And with an art minor, that's pretty cool. You can definitely utilize drawings do some scientific drawings and stuff like that. Okay, maybe I will change the battery settings. I don't like that it keeps turning. Turning off. If it dies, it dies. It's fine. We have like an hour and 15 left anyways. Might make it that long, it might not. Might run out and get a charger. Who knows? Oh, grad school too, dang. What are your career goals with biotechnology? Possibly an art major. I don't know what all the kids are doing these days. I just know it's a trending industry. That's all I know. Which is good. I almost got my BFA. I have my BA, but BFA is like 1 extra year, and I would have to like write a thesis and stuff like that. And then I was like, hold up, like no one's ever gonna see my degree. Like I'm a graphic designer, no one cares. So no. I know, I hate that it took me until my senior year of college to be like, wait, no one's gonna care what my GPA is. But oh well. Good resume stuff, I guess. Oh, R&D, I see. Large scale manufacturing. That's cool. I take it you've been enjoying your art classes. I really liked mine. The art program wasn't very big though. So it was like meh. But there were some really good teachers and some really good classes. Just wasn't much of a variety or not much in-depth classes. It was more like I learned how to oil paint. I took an oil painting class. And there was like good old drawing or art 101. That class was I mean not to brag, but it was very basic. It was very basic. I was actually about to teach that class, and then I was like, I ain't being a teacher no more, because this was during 2020, and they were actually gonna be like, oh hey, like students have hardships, so they're not gonna pay lab fees. Can you cover the lab fees? And I'm like, and the thing about Art 101 is that there's so many materials that you introduce to the students, like markers and like there's so much stuff, and it's like I have to go out and buy all that stuff and like stream all that stuff, and it was just like a lot, especially for what they were offering, and I'm just like, no, I'm not doing this. No way. But when I was a student, I remember it was fine. Like I said, it was just a pretty basic class, but a lot of it was drawing outside, and I took it during a winter semester, so I'm like, I know winters here aren't so bad, but it was in the morning, like my hands were cold, and, like draw outside for like 2 hours. I was like, our classes, oh no, yeah, the electives always kept me going. Hasn't helped you with a doctorate thesis? Oh wow. Oh, helped with a doctorate thesis for someone going to civil engineering. Whoa. Studies of vascular systems developed in body of animals and humans to create better roadways and such. Huh. That's interesting. So like developing the roadways to, I don't know if I'm understanding this correctly, but developing the roadways so that it's better for the environment and the animals. Like those nature bridges and stuff, which I think are pretty cool. I think that's really rad. Ooh, oil paintings. What do you think about oil paints? Like I use acrylics now because they dry really, really fast. But oil paints definitely do have beauty to them. You can like swirl the colors together because of their extremely slow drying time. But when I picked up painting, I was like painting on the go. Like I would go to events and stuff like that. So oil paints were really hard to move around. They do smell awful. That and the like turpentine and all the like chemicals you have to use. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with oil painting. I still have this painting of my parents' lovebirds that I did, where I use they have it in their house. It's like I use a palette knife to make these little textures in the feathers, and it turned out pretty neat, if I do say so myself. Oh, I see. Liquids and how they flow, and traffic jam in the body would be a bad thing. Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha. Road, so like internal roadway. I thought of that. I have like a very literal mind from what people have told me, so I think like a literal roadway. That's really cool though. Like that blood flowing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I'm not sure which ones were oil. I know you've posted quite a few of them, but if you posted them, especially if you posted them before we did a reformat of the Discord server, you're free to share them again or share any of your updated works, what you've been working on this semester. Oh, awesome! Yeah, I'm so excited to see this. Gonna share a painting. Oh yeah, I was just telling people that in November I'm probably gonna switch gears and start painting some more. So I'm excited for that. It has been a while. I mean, I did that one Phoenix painting, but I definitely want to get back into it some more. Water break. Every hour, gonna do a water break. What that looks like without the backlight too. Oh hey, I think you posted it. Oh no. It's gone. This is the biggest water bottle I own. It's like massive, right? And for some reason, I thought that this would be the biggest water bottle I own is the best one to bring with me to Europe. So I'm like sitting there in Amsterdam and the tables are this small and my water bottle just takes up half of it. And I look so like obtrusively American with my giant water, and for some reason Europe just doesn't really like water for some reason. Like they either pour it out in fancy expensive glasses or they just don't give you water. So I'm just like sitting here with like my really big water bottle. Like, why did I bring this one? Oh yeah, no worries. Ooh, got some perspective going on here. That's really cool that you have the tile floor and the tiled ceiling, because that really adds to the 1-point perspective you're doing. So see that going on. I love the brown colors too. Like, oils have such a nice brown color to them. I think that's one thing I want to utilize more in painting, is to like not touch the color black unless it's appropriate. But sometimes when I use the color black to shade things, it just makes it kind of muddy. Whereas I should probably use browns or purples a little better. That Discord link if you want to check out community's work. You do a lot of browns and greens in your painting? Yeah, oil is very, very good for that. A lot of like nature-based stuff. That's one of the things I want to do on stream when I come back from my 2-week break, is start working on different types of color palettes, because there are different primary colors that you can work off of. The traditional method is red, yellow, and blue, but there's also cyan, yellow, and magenta, like a printer. And it would like befuddle me for a while as to which color palette was correct, but honestly, like, they both are. Like, there's no wrong answer. But I think the traditional color palette is where the primaries are red, yellow, and blue. Like, when you blend those colors together, they look more nature-based and they look more natural. Whereas, like, you know, colors like cyan and magenta are more modern and poppy, so that would give more of a like more saturated and unnatural colors, which is something I like working with. But I think for those who like working on more natural based paintings would probably benefit from the first one as well. Of the ooh, yeah, you can also post work in progress pictures and then update your progress as you go, because I like seeing that stuff. I like seeing people's progress, what that looks like. Oh yeah, that's cool. You got like your browns and greens in there. Is that gonna be like your underpainting? Little underpainting. Nice. I really like starting out with underpaintings. I think it helps establish the tone of the piece, which I feel like I need to be able to nail that down before I can color. Because in the end, the tone, like the values of a piece, it's more important than the color. Because people are going to pick that up more. what makes it read. Oh, you usually don't do underpaintings? What made you decide to do an underpainting for this one? Was it part of the assignment or you're experimenting? I feel like a lot of painting is experimenting. Like, I've also tried doing like stuff with or without underpaintings. You know, it all comes down to what you prefer, what your style is. Yeah, that's what I do is like, especially for more architectural based stuff and yeah, like buildings and stuff, lots of rulers. And you know how to do perspective stuff, right? Like the little perspective tricks with a string and all that. I assume you would know. But if you don't, there are tutorials on YouTube for that, like how to get your perspective down so that you're making straight lines. And I can show you them too if you want sources for them. Yeah, perspective drawings. They're really cool. They're really I feel like they're a little tedious for me, but they really do help. They really do help. I think something that really helped me out, I'm just going to demo this real quick. With perspective is like better. So when I think of 1-point perspective, I think of a box. I think that the face of a box is looking at me. And when I think of 2-point perspective, I know that the side of a box is looking at me. And then when it's 3-point, I know it's the corner of a box that's looking at me. There's the corner. And when it's 4-point, you're just going crazy. So that's helped me be like, okay, where is this perspective like coming from? You know, because you do have different colored. Because like with the 1-point, it's coming here. And then 2-point here. And 3-point. I don't know, you get it. The 4-point ones, I know, you're just like crazy and it's like a sphere. And then you're like this is my nostril when I'm looking at a Christmas ornament. Here's my nose. And then I'm just like, yeah. That's the 4-point perspective right there. The eyebrows. 4-point. Yeah, can't teach that yet. I mean, like, it's literally in the name. It's like points. It's not a bad demo of it. All right. Hey. Okay. Thank you for entertaining my demo. Yay! I love when you guys share your stuff. I love seeing what you guys are up to. I like this perspective stuff too. That'd be really neato. It's like how I did boxes and all of a sudden it was my face. I guess with a box it would be curved. I'm gonna not do these fish today because I want to do the wash first. And when I do the wash, I don't want it to interfere with like whatever else is going on. I don't want the ink to smudge with what's already there. Let's see here. I think my, oh. Ooh. That's tight. I love that you did that over a 2-page spread. Oh man, and the skulls. That's really cool. What is that, like a candelabra thing you drew? That's really cool. I loved doing reflective surfaces. I did like a teapot kettle when I did drawing class. It was really cool. Also, okay, so did you draw on black paper? All right, your teacher was smart because back in my day, we had to, we didn't draw on black paper. We actually had to take a charcoal stick and color the whole like giant pad of paper, color it all black, like shade it all in, and then we erased. We drew with our eraser. That was wild. I mean, it was fun, but heck, it was messy. It was so messy. And it was like, well, I mean, I guess it was fun, but I don't know if that's necessary. I guess it did like teach us how to draw, like put in highlights and stuff with an eraser. Yeah, the black paper was white charcoal. Yeah, so that's pretty much the same concept, just with a lot less mess. Man, I remember doing a ton of charcoal drawings and then having to use fixative on them all the time. And then the lab would always smell like fixative. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of charcoal drawings a lot anymore. Yeah, most of it's just painting and ink, but it was good times. I actually do, like, one of my video ideas is to take you guys on a journey of my art style since I've been making art. And in high school I was really into blending tones and even color with Prismacolors because they're a very soft blendy material. So you can actually blend those colors together and it looks really nice. So I was really into blending, and I think I would rely on that too much. Like, you know, when you look at a drawing or a painting and it's a little too soft, like over blended, and there really isn't a lot of hard edges. So that's kind of why I backed away from that after a while. But it did help with making things look realistic. And yeah, I was looking at my art from high school the other day, and I was like, I really wasn't that bad back then. I think I just had a certain style, but my style has definitely like evolved into different things and different techniques. And even in my 20s too, I've kind of shifted. I've had this shift from doing a lot of fan art and watercolor to doing a lot more original and surrealistic pieces. You loved your drawing class. You're hanging out. Yeah, there were a lot of art classes too where I just loved hanging out in there, and I just loved um just working on stuff in there. And sometimes like my classmates were super cool too, and we would just all hang out there. Yeah, some classes were pretty tight with like a bunch of us would just always hang out and like always work on stuff together. That was the case with I had like a black and white photography class. It was like very traditional photography, and it takes so long to develop a good picture. It was insane, but we would all just be hanging out until 2 in the morning, like being little perfectionists was our work. Like we didn't even need to do that much, but I think we were just so adamant about what we were doing. Like, I'm looking back at those times, I'm like, there's no way I would ever have the energy to do that anymore. I go to bed at 11 o'clock. I'm like, no. Although I would always arrive to if my class was like at 8:30, because that's usually when classes start, the morning classes anyways. If it was at 8:30, I would usually arrive at 8:45. Because I'm like, I don't like waking up early. Or at least I used to not. So. And like no one cared. Like even the teachers would arrive at 8:45, so I'm like I'm like the type of person that would arrive class like on at the latest time that I need to be there before being marked as late. With Chad. Gotcha. Yeah, even sometimes the teachers are just really cool to hang out with. Like there's a few teachers where I've just become like lifelong friends with. Oh, I guess we are going to be inking the bottom part today. That'd be cool though. Negative space inking. You guys stop by the classroom. Have you ever taken the class there? Man, it was like expensive too. Like the paper was expensive. It was so hard to find a traditional 35 millimeter camera. I got the last one in the shop, and that shop is no longer around. It's like a traditional photography shop. I'm like, how do you even find all this stuff? And it's like a couple $100. Man, college was expensive. I mean, fortunately, I didn't have to pay as much as a lot of people. A lot of different tuitions were since I stayed local, but oh, that's right. Yeah, I could have sworn that you did some photography. Yeah, I think what's really cool about art classes is that that's where all the art kids get to hang out and stuff. It's like their hangout spots. Us artists are weirdos and we like to be around each other. Damn, I'm starving. Mac and cheese tonight. And shrimp. Is that what's going down? Oh my god. I'm starting to draw these fish. They're so cute. Zoom into that. You're an art minor. You're an art kid. You're here. You're hanging out with us. One of us. You count. You're not an art kid. You just happen to do art and be in the same area. Got it. Oh, look at this guy. So cute. Definitely not been doing art since you were a child. I mean, something I like to vouch for is that we're all actually art kids on the inside. All of us. Every single one of you. Because art is creativity, and creativity is intelligence having fun. Which I believe everyone does in some way. Some people are afraid to show it. So instead, they just want to be boring. Really boring. Yeah. Honestly, though, you're doing like so much. That's really cool that you're staying busy, and hopefully, it doesn't stress you out. You're able to have fun while you learn. That's what matters. Oh, a career fair. Nice. That should be really good. That's a really good way to get your foot in the door with that kind of stuff. Like internships. I was able to, I had a pretty cool internship when I was in college. Basically, I was a graphic design intern, and there were a few of us, and our supervisor was just, she basically let us do whatever we wanted. We were all contributing to this this website project, but she was like, yeah, if you want to learn like After Effects or whatever software, whatever project you want to work on, we'll just find a way to integrate that with the website. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I made like, that's where I got to have a little more experience with After Effects, and I made a motion typography type of music video. I was really into infographics too. I don't know why. I was always looking at infographics when I was in college. I just loved visually presented information. I mean, I still do, but they were kind of a little more niche back then, I suppose. So I made an infographic. What else? I don't know. it was really cool because that was probably one of the best positions I had was that internship. And it was paid. Not a lot, but it was good enough for the time. It got me out of the other job that I didn't like, so that had nothing to do with art or design. Oops. I guess I can turn this light off now and just filling in space. I'm gonna be right back because I was gonna wait until stream ended, but we got like half an hour. But I gotta use the bathroom. Alright, be right back. Boop. All right, thanks for stopping by. Have a good night and a good weekend as well. Done with phase 1 before we do the ink wash. Dude, it's crazy how like I've gotten pretty fast at inking. I think it's this pen, honestly. This has sped up my process so much because I don't use the dip pen anymore. And now it's just like, I mean, it's crazy because a lot of this time was up here and then doing this dress was like nothing. But a lot of the process is in like the sketching and the, or that architecture that happens beforehand. And then once I ink, it's just, you know, boom. Which one of these Copics has ink? This one does. Okay. Now I know. also training to get me to learn how to color in the lines. Hoping that when I get to doing the ink wash, because it's quite a big surface, that it won't warp the paper too much. This paper should be able to handle wet media pretty well. And if not, I own a press. I think that's what I did on one of my drawings. I'm like, I'll just heat press this. I'm starting to get confused where the positive and negative space is. Alright, I got it. Keep shading it in. Even come up with these shapes. Firm. My iPad lasted the whole stream. I was honestly expecting to have to draw these fish with white ink. There's still some details that I'll put in there with white ink, but it actually worked out where I was able to just shade around them. What does this thing look like upside down? Whoa. If it wasn't for the fish, it can probably be represented in any direction. How abstract it is. Okay, so I have this all shaded in, and I guess that means I am done with phase 1 of the drawing. I mean, phase 2, which I'll probably be doing off stream since I have to go out and get some. No, I already ordered materials for that. Some fluid mask is to do a wash in the background and see what that looks like. But I will be putting that up in that process up in my upcoming video, which hopefully I can get out in the next couple weeks. How to find your style, because that's like the full process on how I came up with this and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna call it because I'm starving and I'm having a long week. And this, oh, let me move it down so you guys can see where we're at so far. But yeah, not bad. But thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I will be back next Friday, same time. If there's any schedule changes, check out Discord and check out all my socials are listed in the description. Thank you, mister. Appreciate it. Yeah. And I'll be posting the updated version, the finished version and all that whole process was my next video. And can't wait to see what that's gonna look like. But yep, we'll be back same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard, whatever that is in y'all's time zone. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet to be updated with when I go live and all my latest content. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye, take care, have a great weekend, be safe, don't get eaten by bears. Yeah.